While others celebrate the wins,
Yes.
We celebrate the mud.
each episode has a special guest.
Tony-nominated actress, Broadway's Lily Cooper.
Tashir Zameda.
David A. Gregory.
Getting messy with muddy topics.
We are going to be talking about grief journey.
With hilarious moments
Now get over here.
And deep conversations.
I'm ashamed to even admit this, but this is what happened.
This is Into the Mud.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Into the Mud podcast, where others celebrate the wins.
We celebrate the mud. We are coming to you live from the Barrow Lounge at the Mullen in the West Village.
And today we are super excited to welcome one of my absolute dearest friends to the podcast, the incredible, the remarkable, Harris Milgrim.
Yay! Harris
Such
is
high praise.
Harris.
Oh my God, of course, 100%. You deserve every ounce of it.
Well, I don't know about that, but
So, okay, Harris and I have known each other for...
far too long.
Like, way too long. But like 6
How
or
long?
7
But
years
also
now.
not
Okay, that's
no,
wild.
more than that.
Well, officially.
I guess so.
So we know each other from the biz, from the biz musical theater world.
The biz.
We both met originally at there's a gay bar downtown that we're not going to say the name of on the podcast, but it's
Why?
Why can't we say the
we'll
name
bleep
of
it out.
it?
It's called The Cock.
Yeah.
Okay.
So do you know how we like officially met?
No.
Okay, so I was working at Escape the Room in Midtown. So I was one of the people who runs the room.
Okay.
And the hours are super late, so I think I closed at 2 p.m. a.m. 2 a.m. in the morning, and I got a text from a friend of ours. He's like, "We're out at the Cock, come hang out." And I was like, "I don't fucking want to go. I'm so tired," and I'm such a not a going out
You're
person.
not a goer outer at all.
Not at all.
That's why it's shocking that I met you at 2 a.m. at the Cock.
I know.
It makes no sense.
And I was like, fuck it, why not? So I closed out the escape room, and I got my shit and went to the Cock and checked my coat and said hi and met up with, it was you and Richie and Jason.
Jason, yeah.
And that's where Drew and I officially met. And I remember meeting everyone, grabbing a drink, then turning around, and there was just men getting their ass eaten on the bar and their dick sucked in the corner. I was like, what is this hellhole I've walked into?
Hellhole. That's hilarious. Happy Pride.
Oh, happy Pride. Yes, we're going in on the pod this morning.
Welcome to 10 a.m.
I love it. 10 a.m. So that's where Harris and I officially met. But we knew each other from auditions and dance classes.
Yeah.
And then we finally worked on a musical called The Honeymooners at the Paper Mill Playhouse, which is based off the TV show The Honeymooners. Do you know that show?
I
Jackie
know it.
Gleason,
Yeah,
Ralph
yeah,
Cramden.
yeah.
My best friend from high school so lovingly calls it Domestic Abuse the Musical. Because he's always like, to the moon, Alice. And it's just the whole show is he's going to hit her. And you're like, let's tap dance.
That's the gag.
That's the
That's
gag,
just
fun
how
thing.
that time was,
Yeah.
though.
So we write musicals
Like,
about
put the
that now.
dinner on the table,
yeah,
or I'll give you a head knuckle sandwich.
Literally. It's this is appropriate. Okay, so Harris,
Yes.
you are originally from Florida.
Yes.
You went to Florida State University
did.
with so many of our dear friends.
Yes.
You also were on the first national tour of West Side Story, and you
Yes.
were action or diesel?
I was actually Snowboy.
Snowboy. Okay.
Yeah.
Great, you were Snowboy, and then you've done a bunch of musical theater, but so on Broadway you did Cats.
Yes.
You did Tootsie with me,
Yes.
and our other fellow episode guest, Lily Cooper.
Lily.
Yes,
So-
Lily.
And then you did regional premieres of, Off-Broadway, or regional premieres of Secondhand Lions.
Yes.
And
What else?
Moonshine.
Moonshine.
And anyway, a million credits. So, point being is that you're a hard worker.
Too hard of
Daddy
work.
works.
Yeah.
So-
Daddy tries really hard to work and works too hard.
Daddy
Yeah.
tries really hard.
Yeah.
Correct.
I think you're in good company for
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So you're a freelancer, I'm a freelancer, Alex is a freelancer. We all come from this creative field, so we have to all have 35 million thousand jobs. And we have worked together in many different capacities, in many different working capacities. And also right now, Harris and I work for the same catering company. If anyone needs Little Gem, amazing catering. So we work at the same catering company, so we also get to spend exorbitant amounts of time serving people sparkling water and spicy tuna on puffed rice. So
Crispy rice.
I'm sorry, crispy
It's your
rice.
favorite. You should know what
it
it's
is my
called.
favorite. I know that's true. Point being, what that boils down to is that we are all three of us outrageous, crazy workaholics, which brings us to today's muddy topic for you, Harris, which is an unhealthy relationship to work.
Oof, yep.
Which has 18,000 other offshoots that we're gonna dive into today. But let's first and foremost, let's get all like psychotherapeutic on your ass.
Okay, great.
So
Let's dive right in.
Right into my ass.
I
Let's dive.
admire the both of you. You both have exceptional work ethics. And I feel like there are a few people that rival, not that I'm boasting, I'm just saying is that like we have to fucking pay our bills. Like not many other people rival.
Yeah, we're the only ones paying bills. No one else pays bills.
No one else
So
pays
it's
bills.
just the three
No,
of us
because
here.
they're all rich and their parents pay for everything.
Well, there are those people, and
That's
I
what
love
my
them.
anxiety tells me. So what I admire about you two is that we all have to bust our asses to pay the bills. So again, to get all psychotherapeutic on you, where do you feel, Harris, that your workaholic, overworking tendencies started, and where did they come from as a child?
Well, it's funny. Like I have a million jobs right now, and I'm just so overextended. And
Can you
I'm
quickly elaborate? Just give us like a bullet point what you're doing.
Okay, so I cater with Drew. I'm also like a full-time actor, which means auditioning, all the time, and I'm very fortunate that I get to. I also am a freelance graphic designer, so I have various different clients doing constantly different projects, like big things and small things, and clients barking up my tree for stuff. I also work in fashion merchandising, and that's truly a full-time job. So, like yesterday, I was changing windows for my stores, and it was a whole thing. So that's all that. So
Yeah.
I work like 16, 18-hour days a lot of the time, just getting shit done so that I can do the thing that I love to do.
Because you're working
Yes.
visual merchandising all morning, and then you're showing up at a catering shift at like 4 p.m.
Well, like
working till 10.
yesterday, because I knew that I started at the store at 7:30 in the morning to change windows, run to the other store, change some more windows, leave to go do an audition for 2 hours, come back to finish changing the windows until 7:30 at night, and then go home and then shoot a self-tape, which was like very extensive, this one. So I was like shooting and then I had to like, of course, edit things down and then send it to my agent and blah, 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 blah. And then think about the podcast and think about today's day, which I have another audition after that. It's just like, it's crazy busy.
The think ahead and like the
Yes.
Tetrising of your week of like, I have to sit down on Sunday nights to be like,
Yes.
all right, you have shows on
Yes.
these nights. These are the obligations. You have to get this done by this day. And scheduling truly like
Yeah.
down to the hour every day. And yeah.
And just
please
mustering
continue.
up the energy to do that scheduling.
Yeah.
Because so many times I go, fuck, I don't want to do that this week, but I have to go. But if I don't do that this week on this day at this time, then I can't do it, and that means it's going to sacrifice some other time from something else I also need to get done that has a timeline or a deadline. So it's like going, fuck, Milgrim, you really just need to suck it up and
Suck it up and
do
do
it.
And do it. Yeah.
Do you? I was talking to a friend about this recently, where I feel so busy with so many things, but 90% of them are things that I really want to be doing.
And that's the
So,
thing.
Which is amazing.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
Like we do podcasting. We're performing at night. We are working jobs that maybe like putting money,
Yeah.
getting money in our pocket, taking care of bills and stuff. But also like working out, finding time to exercise, finding time to spend time. Like
No time
it's
for that.
all
I don't have
stuff.
any time for that.
Well,
I wish I did.
That's not what these shoulders say.
Oh, hey.
Yes, Daddy Milgrim.
Excuse me.
And so,
Yeah.
so all of the jobs that I have and the constant rat race of it all, I've been really trying to process why the fuck I do this to myself. Because there are people who don't, who either don't need to or don't want to. I need to within reason. I probably could tone it down a bit, but also I want to. I like being busy. When I'm not busy, I'm wicked fucking depressed. And so to answer your question, I think what it comes from is I grew up in a household where people didn't work. My mother never worked. She stopped working when I was 8 years old. That's a whole fucking long story, but like I grew up in a home with mental illness, so she didn't work and lived off of the government. And my stepfather, ex-stepfather, because they're now divorced, he worked all the time to support a family of 3 kids and a wife who wasn't fucking doing anything. And I was talking about this with my older sister, who also has a million fucking jobs because she is a drummer in a very cool band. Les Nubes, check them out. Their new album came out last week. Little plug.
Plugs.
And my little sister, she has one job and she's like the most stable, normal one of us. Thank God. Someone's got to be. But I think, and this is what I was talking about with my sister, is I think that there was a weird conditioning and sort of like unconscious messaging about either needing to work because you have to, because that's what we saw, or for me, I'm finding more like the fact my mother didn't really raise us or support us, not only just financially, but emotionally, spiritually, just as people in a very nurturing way, I think I've like somehow unconsciously turned working into a means to counteract that. And so, because she did abso-fucking-lutely, truly nothing during the days, I find myself needing to really just dive in and do as many things as possible, be as serviceable as possible to everyone, because it's like I'm filling this void of like kind of I hate to say the word, like a worthless person, you know? That I was like, I don't want to fucking be that person.
Right.
And so I've like overcorrected.
Yeah. Well, when you said before, like when you said, if I'm not doing anything, I feel depressed.
Yeah, there's that.
It's such a like, ooh, let's unpack that. Because I think also for all of us, there's this feeling of tying your worth to your work ethic, right? And so like how much you work is how worthy you are.
Yeah, your value.
And your
as a
value
person.
is,
Yeah.
and so if you're not always busy, if you're not always doing something, it means that you suck.
Yeah.
Which is also just very an American capitalistic
100%.
patriarchal framework of thinking.
Yeah.
But I think it also comes from just how you know how you're raised, like all that,
Yeah.
all these different things. Yeah.
What was lacking through neglect as a child is what makes you seek out, I guess, overworking or overcompensating and doing things to get showered, I guess, with love and validation and thank you and gratitude. Because it's a care you didn't get as a kid.
It's a need to be needed.
A need to be
I
needed.
wasn't
Yes.
needed in my home. And so when I'm at places, I need to be needed. And when I'm working at jobs, the various jobs, and you know this, like any job that I've worked that's an odd job, I'm always like, I'm fucking gonna do this 100%, be the best that I can be at this, and invest all of my time and effort right here, right now, like more than probably a normal person should do at like a shitty random survival job, because I don't like feeling useless, because that is how I was made to feel growing up. I wasn't needed or wanted. And so it fills me to feel, again, serviceable in service to people, which is like kind of the double-edged sword is when you do that, you end up being over-servicing to people, where then, and this is the thing I'm navigating now, is people tend to, not in a negative way necessarily, but they tend to get spoiled and take advantage of you, because I'm so willing to want to show up and want to be there and want to bust my ass and do things till the last minute, even though I know there's something else I also have to do to the last minute, and I will get that done too.
Correct.
Because I want you to know that I care, because it's again that weird like reflection of like someone else didn't care, so like I want you to know that I do, so you can care about me. It's sad.
Well, it's like taking so much, taking everything on, and they're like, I'll do it. I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to do it. And then you look at your plate and you're like, this plate is too full.
Yes.
And I feel either resentful or overworked, and then you're like, well, I did this to myself.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
like it's such a, it is so hard to get out of. Because at least like I feel like this, I'm in the scarcity mindset a lot of like.
Did you grow up poor?
We grew up okay, but I had
Rich asshole, get out of here. You don't belong in this conversation,
not belong in
Alex.
this-
Get the fuck out. Take your money and get out of here.
Okay, well, when I had cancer for the first time, I had to work full time. so
God, cancer was just God telling you that you grew up too rich.
honestly, I deserved it. I deserved it. I did. I deserved it.
No one deserves that.
And this scarcity mindset of like it's all gonna go away. If I say that I'm not available to work, if I don't make myself available to work 6 nights a week and do shows 6 nights a week, if I only say 5, then I'm only gonna actually get 3 nights of work. Or just like if I slow things down, it's gonna just reflect, and I'm gonna be so screwed. And it's like that's actually, I'm in this process now of being like, let's just try and relax and rest more, and your output might actually be double.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I mean, I'm trying. I say I'm trying, and it's like we literally were talking about this morning, where I'm like, I'm 3 shows, like I'm just too much, just doing too much.
Yeah.
I feel my body shutting down, and it's like, what more do you need? Like, what more signs do you need to slow down that you keep telling yourself to do it and you're just not doing it?
Not doing it.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very hard. It's hard too when, you know, it's one thing if you're doing your own thing and you need to really check yourself and go, okay, I need to take a break and chill. It's even harder when you do feel like you're answering to other people or collaborating with other people. Like the past couple months, the either clients that I've had or my various bosses who are like, why don't I have your calendar? Why are you not available? And I immediately am like, fuck, I'm not. And I purposefully was like, I'm not available for these because I need to be available for other stuff or I need to be available for myself, which is very hard to allow myself to do. And then when I've been approached with the question of where are you? Why can't I have you? It was a hard practice for me to say, I just can't right now. I want to, and you can have me a little bit, but you can't have me for all of it because there are other people who also I'm trying to be there for, and they're also getting the same kind of like, you only get me for this amount of time.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is everyone has been so okay and accommodating and fine and chill and cool with it.
Yes.
The only person who was really the Sturmendrong having a fucking Mein Kampf about it was this fucking Jew. I was like, you know? Oh, did I make a Holocaust joke and it made you uncomfortable? Is that why you were laughing?
We'll make it a real.
Too soon.
It is too soon. But not too soon for another one. No, I'm kidding. You'll
You
have
roll
to
it
cut
up.
that out.
I can't
No,
even.
you'll
Oh my
have to
God.
cut that out.
We'll cut that out.
No editing in post. But you know what I've been doing too is not giving, like, not over explaining why I'm not
And that's hard
available,
too.
which is really hard. I used to be
Yeah.
like, well, I can't do it because I
this
actually
and
said
this and this and this.
Now I just go.
You have to justify.
I don't
feel
even
like you have
tell.
to
I just go. No, I'm not free then.
Yeah.
Just you don't. The only person who needs that answer is me. I'm not free. These are the times when I am free. Here are the options, rather than like. Just like, well, I guess we could do it on this day, but if you really need me, it's like, nope, actually, I'm not free then.
Yeah. I need a lesson from you.
And question for you.
I always explain.
You're like,
I was
explain,
it's
like-
because of this and this and this,
I
and
know.
I'm
Oh,
really
you always
sorry.
do.
I'm so sorry. I have to say I'm sorry like 10 times. And then when they're like, it's all good, I'm like, again, I'm so sorry.
Even like to hang out, Drew.
I know.
Drew's like,
I'm
I
the same-
can't because I got. I'm like, Drew, shut the fuck up. It's fine.
like,
We'll
yeah, it's
just
all
do it
good,
another
girl.
time.
You're fine. Chill.
Do you find though that when you're on the other end of it, like needing someone to come do something or you have something planned, and they're like, I just can't. That you're like, okay, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's where I try to remind myself, like, wait, but if I'm the person in that position, I'm like, okay, it's fine. Like, they're not gonna hate me because I'm not available. And we're like, okay, fine, I'll move on. Just like I would with anyone else who was. Like, I'm
Yeah.
accommodating. I don't know why I'm so. It's like I project my own meanness on myself onto everyone else.
Yeah.
It is. It's holding yourself to an entirely different standard.
A crazy fucking
Which
standard that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Very difficult, and I'm constantly trying to like put myself in check with that, and like I'm getting better at it as of late. But when I find myself in those patterns of like, you useless piece of shit,
Yeah.
what did you,
Yeah.
explain yourself, and then I'll go. I do a couple things. I will go. Imagine talking to your younger self like this, first of all. Imagine talking to your 8-year-old, 10-year-old self like this. Or imagine talking to a friend like this.
Yes.
Or or a friend talking to you like this. Why are you, like, what is this?
You wouldn't talk to anybody else like that while you're talking to yourself like
Yeah.
I have a very good friend who is an important person in their sphere, and he and I talk a lot about this kind of thing, about sort of self-talk. And we laugh about, I have to talk to myself out loud. I go, Milgrim, just chill. Milgrim, do this. And his version of it is he calls himself friend. He's like, friend? Do you know? He articulates
that.
friend to himself because he is one of us. He's one of those like incredible overachievers who will not fucking stop until it fucking kills him. And he's like, this is not healthy. And so he has to articulate, friend, take a chill pill. Friend, you can make time for that. Friend, you can walk away from that for a minute and come back to it later. And it's helpful.
It's so helpful because it's also like another thing that I've been asking myself is like, hey, is this working for you?
Uh-huh.
Is this like berating,
Yeah.
like screaming at yourself? Is that working? Because you've been doing it for your whole life, and it actually does nothing for you. When you're nice to yourself, when you give yourself
some
grace, when you have some
self-compassion.
self-compassion, when you, like last week, I was super burnt out. I had a whole day just, like meticulously planned out. And I woke up and I was like, I can't. I have nothing in the tank.
Yeah.
And I just went back to sleep, which would not have happened even 6 months ago. And I woke up and I was like, because I also could have pushed through it. I could have had 3 cups of coffee and white knuckled my way through it. But the whole time, whatever work I was doing, I would have been like barely able to keep my eyes open. And it's like, just let your body rest. Listen to your body. Listen to your body. Listen to your breath. Like, and then I woke up from the nap, was able to get, in like 2 hours, was able to get what I had allotted like 6 hours of my day for.
And really practicing that and trusting that, which is hard to like get the jump on.
Yeah.
But I've been doing that lately too. Like last night again, I got home, I was going all day. I hadn't fucking eaten all day. And I was like, I gotta get this self-tape done. It's gonna take forever. And I've been practicing this lately, which I find helpful, is I came home, I had ordered sushi, which I tried not to spend too much money on shit. I was like, it's been a long fucking day, I need to eat.
Yeah.
My fiance picked it up, so it was ready when I got home. And I told him, I texted him on my home, I said, this is the plan. I'm coming home, I'm gonna sit with you and eat and watch some TV for half an hour, maybe an hour, and not think about a fucking thing that I've done or have to do. And then when that is over, I'll get right back to it, because I would do the same. I'd just like, I have to get it all done right now, and then I'd be exhausted and spent. It's like if you just give yourself even 15 minutes to just step away and go, fuck it, let me just chill. It's like you clean your brain, you get a little refresher, you just can chill.
That tenseness, the energy that you bring to your tasks when you go, it all needs to get done right now. It completely short circuits everything that you're doing. Whereas when you go in with like, I'm gonna do the best I can today.
Yep.
And here's my best. And it's so funny, here's the plan. I feel like all of us. I'm going to relax for 32 minutes.
30 minutes. Scheduling the relaxation.
Scheduling my relaxation.
But if you don't, it doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
So like,
but
that's how you do it.
also, will it? You know what I mean? like that's the other thing that I'm trying to push back on myself right now is I'm like, if I don't do this, it won't happen. And it's like, have you tried? Have you tried the other way? And it's like, well, no, because I don't know how to schedule the other way. What is that? What is the scheduling? What does that need for every moment?
I find that I do like this binging thing, which I'm really trying to not do in video games, or my like crutch or crippling thing when it comes to binging is like, I'll work, like a work hard, play hard. It's so literal, but like I will work the fuck out of a week, and then I take Fridays and Saturdays within reason off. And so like on a Friday, I'll wake up when I wake up, which is like 7:30 or something.
I sleep in until 7:30.
Yeah. Well, that's me trying
Hilarious.
to sleep in, but I'm so used to getting up that early that my body's like, okay, asshole, it's time to get up and do stuff.
Does anxiety get you up, or is it just you're naturally you're like a Cinderella that gets out of bed?
I mean, I'm not. Actually willed myself and conditioned myself into being a morning person because I always admired those people.
Oh, let's talk about this for
They're
a second.
like,
Let's
good
talk
morning.
about this.
I'm so excited to like go to the gym and eat a healthy breakfast and like have a full day. And I was like, fuck you.
I go through chapters of doing that.
So lifelong morning person. I love.
Are you really by nature?
By nature, I
Do
love.
you wake up early naturally?
No. Well, I used to be able to wake up very early, and I love less so naturally, but I loved waking up. I love like if I could get a good night's sleep, like a 5 a.m. like
I'm with you.
sunrise,
Yeah.
huge breakfast, journal, meditate, work out, do my thing, and then by 9 a.m. I've done more than everyone else around.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is also interesting because doing stand-up now has knocked that out.
That's fucked that up, I bet.
I cannot be a morning person anymore, and I have had such a difficult journey with dealing with you're lazy for waking up at 9 or 10 o'clock, and it's
Even though
like,
you went to bed at 3.
but you got home from work at 2:30 in the morning.
Correct.
From performing, from the adrenaline burst.
Yeah.
So you didn't fall asleep actually till about 4. So I have deeply struggled with and I don't know why. I do know why. We again, it's a societal thing of like people prescribing more worth to people who wake up early. If you don't wake up early, you're lazy. Wake up earlier if you want more done.
We're those podcast people that it's like you want a Lamborghini, You gotta wake up
Oh,
at
I
5
hate
a.m.
You gotta
those
work
guys.
that.
You gotta work hard. Like, are we becoming that podcast now?
That's what you are now.
Honestly, that's what we are.
It's now
Oh my
out of
God,
the mud.
all the
Out of
dude
the-
bros.
Get out of the mud.
It's very Tim Ferriss, but it's also, there's so many other dude bros that are like, yeah, you wake up
Wake up at
4
4.
a.m.,
But you know
take
what?
a cold
Athletic
shower.
green.
While
It's a
while
cold
there is
shower.
truth, or like while there is some truth to like that modality of life and thinking and behavior, I think that all of that podcasty stuff is fucking bullshit. Not that trying to put it into practice
But we
is
are
bullshit.
not bullshit.
No, not at all.
Not
No, but
at
what I
all.
mean is like, I think everyone, and that's the thing, is everyone's trying to just
figure it out.
figure it out and get by and be their best, most optimal person, and it's fucking hard. And I think that those podcasts are like sort of a toxic male version of trying to do that, of trying to like, this is what you got to do and this is how it is. And it's like, I mean, you can do that and it would be helpful.
Well, and you
but
know
it's
what
like
was
fake?
a friend of mine who's also a performer told me this. She was like, everyone can't be the wake up at 5 a.m. person. Because those people also need to come out to the show at night
Yep.
and watch the entertainers.
Yep.
And the entertainers need to have the
Time
late
to
schedule.
to recharge.
And it does not apply to entertainment at all. This applies to every single job and career path and everything. Everyone cannot have the same, but it's just so hard to get out of that mindset of like it's the worth thing. It's the worth
You
thing.
know who I admire, and I see people like this all the time because our hours are so jacked up, especially like catering. The people who are mopping the fucking floor in a building.
Yes.
100%.
Or we did a thing the other night, and this woman had come in, and I was like, oh, hey, like we chatted a little bit, someone who worked in the building. And then on my way out at like 10, I realized she was coming in to take over the shift being the security guard or like the elevator operator in this building that no one's going to be in all night except for maybe once in a while. And I thought, those fucking people who no one gives a fuck about or thinks about are the people who really work hard and really are necessary. And you know, for society to function, for the asshole who wakes up and like, you know, does his push-ups and his crunches and his cold bath in the morning at 5 a.m. to come work in that building that someone cleaned all night and took care of, for him to come like not even know anyone was there or think about it.
Yeah. Clean the gym for you to get there at 5 a.m.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And open the doors so that you can work out.
Yeah.
And at the same time, that thing of like worth and value is people don't value those people, and those people, I hope not, but I imagine they lack I hope they don't, but I imagine they do, and this is my own shit probably talking. They maybe lack a sense of self-worth because the people that are benefiting from their service don't acknowledge them, don't respect them, don't show that, and because they're on the fringe in terms of like normal work hours, don't get to receive that or experience that. So I make an effort to try to communicate to everyone, no matter what the fuck your job is, you're a person first and foremost, and a job is a function in society, and thank you for your service, whatever it is, so that we all can function together. And I think en masse people forget that. Like when you check out the register.
And I don't even know, I wouldn't even say like that they're lacking a sense of self-worth so much as like just
Lacking respect from
I'm amazed sometimes at like at how dismissive people are of everyone. Of just
everyone.
Like you know how sometimes at coffee shops they'll have a little placard that's like, please get off your cell phone when you're ordering. I'm like, that so many people were doing this and not acknowledging that you had to put a sign up that said, can you just speak to this person like they're a person? Is like,
I feel like you can always tell if you've worked in the service in any service industry, you can always tell who has and who hasn't based on how they engage with anything, service workers at all. Just how they even speak to them. You're like,
we run into that all the time.
All
I
the
mean,
time.
because we're constantly working with wealthy clients who want to throw a $20,000 dinner party at their apartment on Park Avenue in the penthouse suite. And I will say, majority of the clients that our boss like works with are like end up being really
Thank
lovely.
goodness.
Like they're lovely people. But there are some times that you have those people who just won't even look you in the eye because we are the help suddenly. And they don't give a fuck about us, or they're like, oh, you're cute, and that's all that they care about. It's like, oh, there's a cute waiter here serving me cocktails. It's just they look straight through. I know, because we're a hat. They just look straight through you, and they don't value anybody
Your
else
humanity.
that isn't
They don't
serving
value
them.
your
They don't value
humanity.
your
Yeah.
humanity or your
Yeah.
existence.
And that's what's
Yeah.
fucked.
And it's a trickle down effect. It happens to so many different people in so many different tiers of the workforce, which is so upsetting and so disappointing. Which yes, you're right, goes back to how many people have worked in service. You can tell who they are because you see how they interact with other people, and that
Yeah.
is how I want to be. I'm proud of the work that I've done in service because I feel like I know how to be a respectful human being to the billionaire all the way down to the janitor. And because, look, I was a janitor at one time too. It's like I had to sweep and mop those floors.
Were
at
you a
Old-
janitor?
No, but I had to like clean the bathrooms and sweep the store at Old Navy at the
Oh,
Greendale Mall
yeah,
in
yeah,
Massachusetts,
Great.
in Worcester, Mass. So like, you know, we've all had to do those jobs.
Do the job.
I've cleaned the diarrhea from the toilet bowl at the cake shop.
That was
Hey
an amazing
now.
story. Harris worked at, what's that, the fancy cake
Lady
shop?
M.
Lady M.
My first survival job in New York was I worked at the Lady M cake shop, you know, like the famous whatever.
Yeah.
And I worked at the Bryant Park location, which is kind of a tourist destination for that. And one day this woman rushed in. I'll never forget, she like rushed in and whatever, rushed out. And then I had to use the restroom and I opened the bathroom door. Mind you, it's like Japanese culture kind of thing. So the whole place was like stark white, very crisp lines, like nothing, like a hospital.
Yeah.
And so I walk into this bathroom that also is always stark white with nothing in it. And fuck. It was like someone fucking hit me, like took a baseball bat of diarrhea smell and smacked me in the face with it. And for some reason, I don't know how, this woman quite literally blew up the bathroom. So this white bathroom had it looked like a murder scene of diarrhea.
It was a brown bathroom.
Paint.
It was underneath the toilet. I don't know how it got
My
there.
God.
And I
Like
put-
just the spray.
like I had to hold my breath and go in and clean really fast and come back out and
And
do
then
that
go
for
back
rounds
in?
for like an hour. And then once I was done making it spotless, because I deep cleaned it 3 times in a row, I told everyone else who was working at it, I was like, I'm just gonna sit in the back the rest of the day because
Yeah.
I just
I just
cleaned
jumped
up
on
so
that
much
grenade.
diarrhea.
I just fixed that so y'all
yeah.
can slice cake until
Yeah.
we close.
Yeah.
Good night.
I just cleaned up a reformatted coconut cream cake, so I'm taking a break. Yeah.
Reformatted
The
coconut
digested cake.
cream. Oh,
Ooh,
no.
yum.
Jesus.
You're in the midst of this like chorus boy to leading man career transition,
Yeah.
which is really hard in an entertainment force to get people to look at you in a completely different way.
Mm-hmm.
So back to our work ethic and learning how and where and when to say no.
Yeah.
This is a different capacity that you've had to learn to say no to.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't want to go in for that regional job in the ensemble, or I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to do. You turned down a Broadway show. You had you had an offer for a Broadway show as a cover and as a swing, and you said no. So that's turning down a 6-figure salary hypothetically to go back to catering.
Yeah.
And it's all with the sacrifice of hoping that you can shift people's perspective and only keep showing up now as the ingenue, as the leading man, as the side character actor. So you're getting all these different opportunities now, and that takes an immense amount of groundwork to put in. So can you talk about the pros and I guess the cons of, briefly, what it means to say no in order to reconfigure your career, and where that plants self-doubt as you're like catering and you're like, I should have taken that Broadway show. Does that happen or not?
I mean, that doesn't happen so much anymore. It really is a matter of, it's kind of the same thing about wanting to be in service of people and feeling needed. And so I was like, I'll get in any way that I can. So if you want me to dance in the ensemble, if that's how I can get in and that's how I can be helpful, yes. And so when I was offering up pretty much every skill at every capacity, to my fullest capacity, I feel like people were like, oh, this person does this and is very helpful and useful. And I've been told that a number of times, how valuable I am in that particular position. And I was like, oh, great. So now someone's going to like help me out and like take me out of this and give me the other bigger things that I want, that I have worked so hard for. And that wasn't happening. I was just getting perpetuated into the same positions that were starting to not make me happy. I was miserable doing them because there was no way out. And I was still showing up because I was like, if I keep showing up, if I keep working hard and keep being in service to people because they need it, and at sacrificing what I want, then like it'll work out. And finally I went, fuck that, you know, because I still want to be in service, but I want to be in service how I want to be in service. And so it's been really hard to say no to opportunities that, yes, financially, stability-wise are good, but for my spirit and my like creative soul are not what I want to be doing. One, because it's not what I want, and two, because what I do want, I have to make time for. Again, like I have to go, what do I want and what am I willing to put in the work and the effort for, so that instead of trying to get everything done for everyone and show up for everything that I don't even necessarily want to do for the project, I now have time and energy to really put in my all preparing for something that I really want. And then things I don't waste anyone's time, you know? And the fear was like, no one's ever gonna call me again. But what's happening now, the more I lean in, is people call me for things that I'm very excited about, and I do see a shift, although it has taken time and will continue to take more time. And the other things that didn't make me happy and were starting to frustrate me, some people have gotten the hint and have shifted, and other people have not gotten the hint but understand, like, I don't want to do those certain things or expend my time and energy, and so I don't get those phone calls anymore. So I don't get as many phone calls as I used to for stuff, but the ones that I do are ones that really matter to me, and so I can bring my best full self to that stuff, and then if it works out, great, and if it doesn't, I feel fulfilled in that moment, and I feel like I've shared my time and my talent and my gifts and all that kind of stuff and my best self with people, and so I can only hope, and I'm seeing the proof in that is, you know, shifting and growing and changing as I continue to shift and grow and change as a person and as an artist and bloobity blobbity blue, all that.
Yeah.
It's good. The quality over the
Quality over quantity. And that's that weird, I had such an unhealthy relationship to wanting to just like optimally do the most all the time, and I was so tight, and I felt so false as an actor and as an artist. I was like just forcing everything, and I'm like, I just want to do good work that is honest to me and true to me and services the people who might find me useful for their project. And if they don't, I'm doing the best I can, and it is out of my hands. So,
and it's a good lesson in the rocky path of learning to say no to the things that you don't want means doors opening for the things that you do want. So in a weird roundabout way, your no's turn into yeses.
Yeah, absolutely. My biggest thing, which was a really hard thing, is I had to go, what am I willing to give up to get what I want?
Yes.
And I talk about this a lot lately with people as we're discussing this and I'm navigating, and I sincerely was like, I'm willing to give up the thing that I love the most.
Yeah.
If it means not having it the way that I need to and want to. And in doing so, what I found is the things that I need and want creatively are the things that are coming my way, because I've stopped trying so hard to just have the thing instead of having the thing the way that I want to have the thing. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
anyway, so that's cool, but it's not fucking easy.
No.
It's not easy, as we've all known, as we all compromise our health to keep working. And
if you're not getting cancer every 2 years, then you're not working hard enough.
working hard
It
enough.
might be true.
And that's my 2 cents.
There we go. Paris, thank you so much for being here.
So much for being here.
This is super fun.
Yes.
So we like to wrap up with a rapid fire 10 questions.
Yes, you do. I love this podcast, so I'm looking forward to this and also shitting my pants a little bit.
Yeah, great.
Okay,
ready?
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Rapid fire, 10 questions, as quick as you can. Here we go.
Go.
Okay.
Beach vacation or mountain retreat?
Mountain retreat.
Music or silence?
Oh shit. Music.
Home cooked meal or restaurant?
Restaurant.
If you were a fruit, what would you be?
A banana?
Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
100 duck-sized horses.
Okay, great. Good
Kick
answer.
those.
Great answer. Okay. Okay, here we go. Tootsie or Cats?
Tootsie.
Okay, you're super stoned. Do you want a crisp salad with savory protein or a huge slice of chocolate cake?
A crisp salad with savory protein.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay, kill, fuck, marry. Einstein, Hemingway, Tesla.
Oh, fucking kill Tesla. Marry Hemingway.
Oh,
and,
good one, yeah.
And fuck Einstein. He's pretty
sure.
crazy
For
fun and
sure,
had
for
tongue.
sure, for sure.
Okay, favorite Beanie Baby.
Oh, you know what? It was a pelican that my grandmother that I loved had, and I kept it when she died. Yeah.
Okay, and what is an adjective?
What is an adjective?
Yeah.
An adjective is a descriptor of a word that gives the a word value or quality?
Yes, grammar.
Is that right?
So smart.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Why did you ask
bold
that?
question.
That was great.
That was amazing.
Well done.
I don't think I could have done that. I
Jesus.
don't
Great
think I
job,
could have done that.
Harris.
Was that 10 questions?
That was 10 questions.
Wow, that felt like
That was
forever.
You nailed it. You nailed it. You did great.
Amazing. Okay, so Harris, can you tell our
Yes.
audience where they can find you online, your socials, your web?
My socials. I'm not on, I exist on social media, but not too much. So you can find me at Harris Milgrim on Instagram. And then I have like my actor website is harrismilgrim.com. So that's kind of that.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Harris. We love you.
You guys, thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening to Into the Mud podcast. You can find us across all platforms at Into the Mud podcast.
And don't forget to like and subscribe. Please give us a follow and
Smash
follow
that
along.
subscribe.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
We love you all. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.